This is the story of Evariste Galois. On the 25th of October, 1811, Evariste Galois was born. His father was Nicholas Gabriel Galois and his mother Adelaide Mary de Monte. His mother was his teacher until he was 12. She taught him Greek, Latin, and religion. The first major part in his life was the storming of Bastille on the 14th of July, 1789. From this point, the monarchy of Louis XVI was in major difficulties as the majority of Frenchmen composed their differences and united behind an attempt to destroy the privileged establishment of the church and the state. Not long after this, King Louis XVI was executed after trying to flee the country. Galois had enrolled at the Lycée of Louis the Grand as a boarder in the 4th class on the 6th of October, 1823. During his first term, there was a minor rebellion and 40 pupils were expelled from the school. Galois was not involved, and during 1824 to the 25th, his school record is good and he received several prizes. February 1827, Galois enrolled in his first mathematics class. He quickly loved mathematics. In 1828, Galois took the examination of the École Polytechnique but failed. On the 2nd of July, 1829, tragedy struck for Galois when his father committed suicide. His father was a good man and hung himself in an apartment a few steps from where his son was studying. A few weeks after his father's death, Galois presented himself for examination for entry to the École Polytechnique for a second time, and sadly he failed again. École Normale, which was an annex to Louis le Grand, and to do so, he had to take his baccalaureate examinations, something he could have avoided by entering the École Polytechnique. He passed, receiving his degree on the 29th of December, 1829. July 1830 saw a revolution. Charles X fled France. There was rioting in the streets of Paris, and the director of École Normale, M. Guignol, locked the students in to avoid them taking part. Galois tried to scale the wall to join the rioting but failed. Late in the 1830s, 19 officers from the artillery of the National Guard were arrested and charged with conspiracy to overthrow the government. They were acquitted, and on the 9th of May, 1831, 200 Republicans gathered for a dinner to celebrate the acquittal. During the dinner, Galois raised his glass and with an open dagger in his hand appeared to make threats against the king, Louis Philippe. After the dinner, Galois was arrested and held in Saint-Pelage prison. At his trial on the 15th of June, his defense lawyer claimed that Galois had said, but the last words had been drowned out by the noise. Galois, rather surprisingly, since he essentially repeated the threat from the dock, was acquitted. The 14th of July, Galois was arrested again. He was wearing the uniform of the artillery of the National Guard, which was illegal. He was also carrying a loaded rifle, several pistols, and a dagger. Galois was sent back to Saint-Pelage prison. While in Saint-Pelage prison, Galois attempted to commit suicide by stabbing himself with a dagger, but the other prisoners prevented him. On the 30th of May, Galois was shot in a duel. The reason for it is unknown. He was left there, and he was later found by a peasant. He then later died in Cochin Hospital on the 31st of May.